Right now at noon, Missouri carries out its first execution of 2024 under a cloud of protest.
Plus, we've had some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area, those continuing into the evening. The latest on your forecast coming up.
And it's time to be mindful of swarming bees. We'll have the details on why a swarm of bees was all the buzz in Sarcoxy.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The state of Missouri carries out its first execution of 2024. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. Despite widespread protests, Missouri executed convicted double murderer Brian Dorsey yesterday evening. The 52-year-old Dorsey was put to death at 6:11 p.m. according to the Missouri Department of Corrections. Dorsey was sentenced to death for the 2006 murders of his cousin and her husband. In addition to the demonstrations, a clemency petition was filed saying Dorsey was deeply remorseful for the murders. The U.S. Supreme Court denied a last-minute request for clemency. At 6:45 this morning, a serious crash at 32nd in Indiana summoned the Joplin Police Major Crash Team. An SUV and scooter collided in the intersection. The adult male was operating the 49cc scooter was rushed to trauma, suffering serious injuries to an area hospital. There is no update on his condition. Officers continue to investigate what occurred. Traffic was affected about 45 minutes at the intersection.
Yeah, we've had scattered showers and thunderstorms going on across the area throughout the day. Earlier this morning, I had the cloudy skies in Joplin. This is the MoDOT camera from 32nd and Range Line. The rain progressively rolling across the area this morning. That's the other thing. Showers haven't been moving a whole lot, but they continue to develop. And of course, our camera on the Cornell complex this morning showing those cloudy skies across the city. And again, initially dry. Yesterday, we started the day about 51, so a bit above average out there, and we made it to 71, so not nearly as above average, but still not where we're supposed to be, but not quite at record levels either. Our temperature trend shows where we've been above average. We're going to look at being at or below average as we head through today and potentially into tomorrow, and then above average temperatures, well above average temperatures will return this weekend. Showers will continue into the evening hours, and by late evening they'll begin to clear out, and eventually we'll start to go mostly cloudy overnight, temperatures falling through the low 50s by midnight. Scattered shower and thunderstorm chances will return by next week, and warm weather in between. We'll take a look at your full forecast here in just a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Chris. Glad today's showers aren't too severe, as some Carthage residents are still dealing with the consequences of last week's storm. An apartment building next to the square had severe water damage after the roof peeled off and the ceiling tiles broke and fell to the floor. 5 families used to live in the building, and some of them lost most of their belongings.
Everything's nasty. It just smells horrible. The walls and the floors are have this white powder film on them. Just, you can see mold. It's just gross.
The building had to be evacuated during the storm. While most families moved out, 2 of them, including the landlord, Keith McBride, still live there. Well, this is the time of year you might experience a bee swarm. That's what happened yesterday in Sarcoxy. A nearby resident noticed a large swarm of bees on a fire hydrant. Police contacted Jared Malcolm, who enjoys beekeeping as a hobby. He was able to locate the queen in the storm, and all the others followed into a transport box. If you experience a bee swarm, you can contact the Joplin Area Beekeeping Association. Their information is on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. The city of Joplin has a new mayor. The city council Monday night voted unanimously to appoint Keenan Cortez to the role. Cortez has been serving as the city's mayor pro tem. That position is now filled by Josh Tatar. The city's new council was also sworn in last night, featuring 3 newly elected. Carthage Intermediate Center has been recognized as a promising practices professional learning community at work by Solution Tree for their achievements in enhancing student learning. Carthage Intermediate Center was presented today with a celebration box containing a flag and a certificate of recognition.
I love it. I love the idea of our kids being able to see the hard work come to fruition, of our teachers, get recognized for that hard work. We try to teach work ethic to our kids, and that good things, come from hard work. And this is one of those moments that they get to see that come to fruition.
Today's presentation was held at the school's monthly assembly. Well, teens gather at Pittsburgh Public Library to gain volunteer hours and skills. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
It allows for teens to come in and have a collaborative time together and meet new people and just donate their hours.
The Volunteers program at the Pittsburgh Public Library allows teens to create book displays, organize shelves, and other projects twice a month.
And it's very relaxing for teens to be able to come in and donate good hours that they can also use on applications for college, as well as other different programs at schools.
And we just have a whole list of things, and then based on the author's last name, this is all
it's in alphabetical order from their last name. So we find the author and then we find which book it is. And so far we've only gotten 3 out of 20.
The teens are using the Dewey Decimal System to find books without the help of a smartphone or computer.
I know we've learned about it in elementary school, but I haven't used it since.
This is kind of our first time. We have to keep reciting the alphabet in our heads, so I would say hard.
Yeah.
Even though it sounds pretty easy.
Where is
We don't know what, yeah.
The teens not only maintain the space in the library,
655.
they also prepare crafts for the toddlers' story time.
I'm part of the National Honor Society at Pittsburgh High School, and we volunteer throughout the community, and I just thought this would be a really fun time. Come in, volunteer, get stuff ready for kids, and make sure they can have a good time.
Although Nolan isn't a bookworm,
No, I'm good.
he is a fan of making a difference within the community.
I'm a big believer that, if you want to be a good person, you need to do activities that show that you're a good person and just really help everybody around you out.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
The Volunteers program meets twice a month, every second and fourth Tuesday at the Pittsburgh Public Library. Coming up, a momentous abortion decision in Arizona. We'll have the latest details. And later, we're making a French onion bake in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. More fallout this morning after Arizona's top court reinstated a Civil War era statute that bans all abortions with the exception for saving the life of the mother. CBS News' Jared Hill has the latest from New York.
Abortion rights is sparking a new fight in battleground Arizona. In a 4-2 ruling yesterday, the state Supreme Court said a law from 1864 that bans nearly all abortions except to save the life of the mother can be enforced. The penalty for doctors, 2 to 5 years in prison.
It is a dark day in Arizona.
Arizona's Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs is calling on state lawmakers to repeal the 160-year-old statute, and the state's top prosecutor is vowing not to enforce it.
No woman or doctor will be prosecuted under this law as long as I am Attorney General.
The order, which was put on hold for 2 weeks pending challenges in lower courts, would do away with a 2022 state law that bans the procedure at 15 weeks. Anti-abortion rights activists praised the ruling.
It's always a really good decision to protect life.
But even some prominent state and national Republicans have come out against it.
The ruling was asinine, but it's up to Arizona to fix it.
President Biden called the law dangerous and cruel.
To stop bans like this, we need a United States Congress that will restore the protections of Roe v. Wade.
Arizona's Planned Parenthood says it will continue to provide abortion services up to 15 weeks, quote, for a short period of time, and abortion rights advocates say they have enough signatures to possibly get the issue on the ballot this November. Jared Hill, CBS News.
And Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida arrived in Washington yesterday ahead of today's state dinner and tomorrow's summit. The official visit from the Prime Minister and his wife Yuko Kishida comes as the U.S. and its allies have raised concerns about China's growing presence in the South China Sea. Earlier this week, the U.S. and Japan, along with Australia and the Philippines, held joint naval exercises in the area in a show of strength. President Joe Biden is racing to enact a new student loan forgiveness plan ahead of the election this November. Julia Benbrook has the details.
I'm proud to announce 5 major actions to continue to relieve student debt for more than 30 million Americans.
A new push from President Joe Biden to fulfill one of his 2020 campaign promises. The president traveled to Wisconsin on Monday, a key swing state, to unveil the details of his new student loan forgiveness plan.
Too many Americans, especially young people, are saddled with unsustainable debts in exchange for a college degree. It's not just a drag on them, it's a drag on our local economies.
The new plan will impact people who have balances bigger than what they originally borrowed due to interest, and those who qualify for forgiveness under existing programs but have not applied. It will also assist those who began repaying their debts at least 20 years ago, those who enrolled in so-called low financial value programs, and those experiencing financial hardship.
Over the coming months, the Department of Education will propose and then implement these plans.
This is Biden's second attempt to implement broad student loan forgiveness. The Supreme Court struck down his first plan last summer. Several conservative-led states and groups sued his administration over the first program, arguing the executive branch had overstepped its authority.
The Supreme Court blocked us, but that didn't stop us.
The Biden administration has already canceled student loan debt for about 4 million people, mostly using existing programs. That's more than any other president. The new proposals must still go through a public comment period. Then after reviewing those comments, the Department of Education will publish the final version of the rule. It's a process that could take months and will likely face new legal challenges. Reporting in Washington, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
When it comes to French onion soup, what's your favorite part? The rich broth or the gooey cheese topping? Either way, you'll love what we're making today.
And we're continuing to track scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area. We'll talk about when those will come to an end and that really warm weekend we have on the way coming up. Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon. So scattered showers and thunderstorms continuing across the area. This is a look from the MoDOT camera 32nd and range line from earlier this morning, where initially Joplin was remaining dry. All the shower activity kind of forming a little shape around the city. Not the case as we head through the afternoon, though, as showers and storms continue to spread across the area. Of course, our Cornell camera this morning showing those cloudy skies around the area. And again, initially dry conditions before more showers overspread. And showers already rolling in just south of Pittsburgh. This is the KDOT camera from this morning on 69 at Kansas Crossing. So you can see roadways very wet out there with these showers. Very slow moving. Not a lot of movement really out there at all, but they're just continuing to develop and spread across the area. And they'll continue to do that as we head through the evening hours as well. As you can see by 5, still some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. And as I mentioned earlier, the good news is we are not going to be dealing with any severe weather today. The severe threats staying to our south around the Gulf Coast, where unfortunately they've been dealing with tornado warnings and significant damaging wind gusts down there. By the late evening hours, those showers will start to come to a close across the area and will start to dry out overnight. And as we head toward the start of the day on Thursday, we'll start to see skies gradually clearing out there, starting partly to mostly cloudy on our Thursday, and then again beginning to clear out through the rest of the day. As for the rest of today, we're looking at upper 50s, low 60s for our highs. That northeast breeze 15 to 20, occasionally gusting upwards of 35 miles an hour. And of course, we'll have those scattered showers and storms out there. Overnight tonight, though, we improve. We're going to be mostly cloudy, mid-40s, north breeze 10 to 15. Could have some occasional gusts upwards of 25 miles an hour. And as we head into our Thursday, again, partly cloudy skies, but those guys will continue to gradually clear across the area. Still a bit breezy, northwest winds 10 to 15, gusting upwards of 25, and we're still a little cool out there. However, warm weather is going to make a rapid return as we head into the weekend. We're going to go into the upper 60s on Friday, 70s and 80s by Saturday and Sunday, 80s again on Monday, so well above average out there. And then we are keeping an eye on thunderstorm chances as we head into next week. It's still several days away, but just a heads up, we want to watch these storm chances as we head into next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But between now and then, some beautiful weather over the weekend, so make sure you get out there and enjoy it.
Well, stick around. We're making French onion bake in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. We'll be right back. If you love the irresistibly delicious combination of rich oniony broth and an ooey gooey cheesy topping, today's Mr. Food recipe is just for you. Howard shows us the recipe for French onion bake in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
I have a question for you. When it comes to French onion soup, what's your favorite part? The rich oniony broth or that cheesy topping with the bread that soaks up all that oniony goodness? Well, we asked around, and the cheesy topping won hands down. So with that in mind, we came up with something that we call French onion bake, which is the best part of the onion soup in the form of a side dish. We start by cutting a French bread into thick slices and baking them off until they're golden. Once they are, we put half of them in a baking dish and sprinkle them with some shredded Swiss cheese. On top of that goes another layer of bread, and we pour some onion soup over it. This is looking good already. And just like traditional onion soup, we finish it off with more cheese. All that's left to do is bake it off until the cheese is golden and the bread soaks up all that broth. I'll tell you, once it comes out of the oven, all ooey and gooey, everyone's gonna be singing your praises. So what are you waiting for? Go online and check out what we call French onion bake so you can enjoy the best part of the onion soup in a totally new way. I'm Howard of the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we've discovered a cheesier way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Now, here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
Again, scattered showers and thunderstorms wrapping up late this evening across the area, and we'll start clearing out tomorrow. Got really warm temperatures heading into the weekend, upper 70s, low 80s out there. And then we're keeping an eye on those thunderstorm chances next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Certainly a gorgeous weekend ahead of us.
You bet.
Right.
Looking forward to that.
Absolutely. Dow, what do you have for us this evening?
Well, a lot coming up at 5. For starters, the Biden administration is announcing the first ever standard for some harmful chemicals in drinking water. The new rule from the EPA requires public drinking water systems to monitor, reduce, and report high levels of toxic chemicals. Plus, details about the City of Carthage's special meeting to discuss the possible removal of the city administrator and consider articles of impeachment against the mayor. And Fredonia's student-led business, the Hive Coffee Shop, is buzzing with excitement as it gears up to commemorate its 5th year in business. Hope you join us. KOAM News at 5.
Absolutely. Thanks, Joe. Well, that's the news for now. We'll see you right back here at 5. Have a great rest of your day.